Happy morning, dear children. I welcome you all to the English Corner. Children, we are going to learn the continuation of the lesson Ashes That Made Trees Bloom. Yes, shall we, dear? Yeah. Good old days of Daimyos is landowners in olden days, 19th century in Japan. The landowners are called daimyos. All these we learnt. They lived an old couple. They had no children. They had a pet dog. They loved it as if it was a baby, their own child. Okay, the old dame made it a cushion using blue crepe, soft blue material, soft blue cloth. And the name of the dog is Muko. It was very comfortable with that cushion made of blue crepe. Okay, they were very kind towards the dog. They used to give fish, tidbits of fish, using their own chopsticks. Right? So all these we learned in the previous session. And the old man was a rice farmer. Always when he is going to work, dog also will follow. From morning till the sunset, they'll be working together. Right? The dog will be helping him. Right? They will not harm anything, even a small insect or a small worm which is there. He is very, very kind towards insects, animals, all living creature. Okay, the meaning of sod, we saw that it was grasses, and he used to give food to birds. So one day, what happened? The dog came running to him. So he's calling his master. He's spotting out something. The master also, first he thought it was playing with him. Then next he started to go along with him. He found a few hours later, that animal, that pet dog, tries to scratch in a earth, in that earth, thinking it was a buried bone or a bit of fish. The old man, but he is giving importance to the dog, to his pet. So what happens? He struck his hoe in the earth, but to his surprise, it was a pile of gold. So within 1 hour, they became very rich. Okay, the good souls. These are the good souls. The old man and his wife. They bought a piece of land. They gave feast to their friends and gave plenty to their poor neighbors also. Okay, they were very kind towards that pet. Right? Next, in the same village, there was a wicked old man and his wife. That is what I said, a villain. Not a bit sensitive and kind, not even a bit of kindness with him. He used to kick and scold all dogs whenever any passed in their house. When the dog passes also, he used to scold and kick. Hearing of their, whenever the bad luck comes, see, what happens is the wicked person seems to be good, but their behavior and other things made him bad, right? Hearing that the neighbor's good luck, they thought that the dog is good. Being that dog has a good luck, they tried to console the dog. They gave all bits of fishes and all favorite foods to the dogs. Why they are giving? They are trying to find treasure for themselves. That is the reason why they are giving all the foods and tasty items to this dog. But the dog being afraid of the cruel pair, because before the dog could have experienced beating or scolding from that old couple. So what happened? It was afraid and it never ate or moved out of that place. It was as it is like a statue, right? So they dragged him out of the door, taking a spade and a hoe with him. Because the same happened for the good, kind couple, right? The same way the wicked man is trying to get treasure. So the dog also got near a pine tree in their garden. He began to paw and scratch the ground as if a mighty treasure lay beneath. Uh, then he was very happy. The wicked man was very happy. He called his wife. Come on, dog is, hand me that spade and hoe. So he cried in the sense he shouted very greedily and he danced with joy. Why? He thought that the dog is going to give a treasure. But the covetous is greedy old fellow with a spade and an old crone with a hoe began to dig. There was nothing but a dead kitten. The smell. What happened to the smell? Oh God. They cannot bear that smell. Okay. Which made them drop their tools, everything, shut their noses. Then what happened to the uh, wicked man? He became very, very angry, very furious. Furious at the dog. Furious is more than angry. Furious at the dog, the old man kicked and ultimately they made the dog to die. Okay. The owner of the dog heard this about the death of the pet and very silently mourning for him. He had his own child. Went at night time under the pine tree. He set up some bamboo tubes in the ground and like a tomb he created, he put some fresh flowers, a cup of water and a tray of flowers also. Then he laid a cup of water and a tray of food on the grave and burned several costly incense sticks. He mourned for a great while over his pet, calling many dear names, right? As if he were alive. He used to talk to the dog, pet dog. He was very affectionate with that dog. That night, the spirit of the dog appeared to him in a dream and said, cut down that pine tree over my grave. Grave in the sense, the place where the dog was buried. It's called grave. So cut down the pine tree over my grave and make from it mortar for your rice pastry and a mill of your bean sauce. Mortar is a big bowl that we discussed, right? So using that pine tree, you have to make a big bowl mortar for your rice pastry and a mill for your bean sauce. This is what we left in the last session. Now the continuation, dear. So the old man also chopped down the tree because it is his own child. Like a child, he was thinking, right? So he immediately chopped the tree and cut out the middle of the trunk, a section about 2 feet long. How many feet? 2 feet long. With great labor and partly by fire, partly by the chisel. So partly by the fire, partly by the chisel is a instrument. He scraped out a hollow space as big as a small ball. So that mortar, he's creating a mortar, making holes in that nearly 2 feet long, big bowl they are making. Right? As big as a small bowl. He then, this is a sample bowl. He then made a long-handled hammer of wood, such as it's used for pounding rice. So, what he made is a mortar, then handle for the what? A long-handled hammer of wood. Then, when New Year's time drew near, he wished to make some rice pastry. So rice pastry is it will be like this. Okay. When the rice was all boiled, Granny put into the mortar. So first she prepared. Who prepared? Granny. Grandma. Granny prepared a boiled rice and put it in the mortar, put it in the bowl, which is made of pine tree. Right? The old man lifted his hammer to pound the mass into duff, and the blows fell heavy and fast till the pastry was ready for baking. Thus they'll mix all boiled rice, everything, and they'll bake it. That is what is pastry. Suddenly, the whole mass pastry turned into heaps of gold coins. Heaps of gold coins, like a mountain, small mountain. How many feet long of pine tree they cut into a bowl, baby? 2 feet. Okay. So that 2 feet of bowl full of rice pastry was turned into heap of gold coins. When the old man took the hand mill and filling it with beans, began to grind, then the beans is there, isn't it? They started a mill, right? So they started grinding. When they grind, each and every drop coming out, the gold dropped like a rain from the mill. So all these were watched by the envious neighbor. Envious here refers to, what is envy? Jealous. Okay. Jealous neighbor. Peeped, see here, peeping through the window. Peeped at the window when the boiled beans were being ground. So, goody me, cried the old hag as she saw such dripping of sauce turning into yellow color gold until in few minutes, full tub under the mill was full of shining mass of gold. So everything turned into gold. Each and every bean drop. Okay, the bean when they are grinding and the drop of bean is coming out as a gold coin. See, full tub full of gold. So the old couple were much rich again. The next day, the stingy and wicked neighbor came and borrowed. Please give me that, I will do pastry and give it back. All that. He borrowed the mortar and the magic mill. Why it is called magic mill? Because it is giving gold, right? So they filled one with boiled rice and other with beans. Who filled? The wicked man. Okay, the wicked neighbor. Now assume that this is a mill. So one bowl full of rice and one bowl full of bean. Then the old man began to pound and the women began to grind. At first blow, turn the pastry and the sauce turned into a foul mass of worms. Oh God. When the kind person grind, it was turned into heap of gold. But this wicked man grind, it was turning into mass of worms. Still more angry. He was very, very angry at this. They chopped the mill. They cut the mill into pieces. And they used this as a firewood. They burnt everything. So children, we'll end this session. We'll continue in the next session with the comprehension check, dear. Okay. Bye and thank you.